Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's a great day. Now we're discussing Neo. As you can see, I'm on the Neo website right now. Great things are happening in the Neo world, with the exception of this shortage of the bad result that we're facing, and of course with the semiconductor. But we'll take a look to see the stock, how it's performing for the day. Hopefully, you guys could enjoy a breakdown of what's to come next. Welcome back to my channel, guys. As you know, my name is Ken. On the right, you can see I'm following two stocks for the day. The movement of Apple on the left, Neo on the right. It has been a great last few days for Apple. Personally, I'm excited. Now, you guys know I've been pushing Apple in the last 30 days or so to tell people to buy, buy, buy. We saw that the stock was trading for a good 2 weeks between $118 to $122 per share. It was only a matter of time before we can see Apple is up right now. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying any profit that you may have. If we take a look back, as I mentioned, guys, we have been following Apple for quite some time. And each time Apple makes its play, I kept buying shares and keep capitalizing. Now, if you look back here, let's take a look back in the earlier part of March. We can see Apple was trading below 120 per share. Now, if you watch those videos, I kept telling people, listen, these are opportunities for me to buy more shares in Apple on whole until obviously the stock starts to rise. Now, my prediction is that Apple will hit 135. That's my goal, to have it stay in that range for a while. However, I'm not selling. I just felt that if it goes to 120 at that point, between 118 to 120, to buy as many shares as you could. Because if you're going in the short run, you're looking at least $10 per share profit. If you're going long term, no difference. Just hold it until you're ready to sell. Now, the big one of the day I want to keep emphasizing, guys, Neo. We can see that Neo, the stock had pulled back um, huge, right? We look back a year back in March, May, where we can see Neo came back from, $3 and something per share up until high as 66, 64 bucks per share at one point. So we see that there's a huge fluctuation in terms of price. We can see it was a crazy amount of gains for anyone that had the stock in their portfolio. Now, as you guys know me personally, I've been rocking with Neo for a long time, not just now, but I've been rocking with Neo from years past. I started closely paying attention in Neo back in 2018, and then obviously in 2019 we saw it make a huge spike. You know what I mean? And I got burnt at first because I didn't sell, and I saw that investment went to as low as $1.49 per share. But what that tells me is that was to invest more into the company, which I did. Fortunately, the price was so low, I was able to buy 10 times the amount of shares I owned previously. And then I was able to capitalize on the first spike. If we look back in January, I was able to capitalize, make a sale of the additional shares, get a ton of profit, and I was able to buy back in when the stock goes down in the low $2 with my previous shares as well as the new share. Now, guys, obviously I hold it all the way up to 50. I was able to sell and get it back in the 40s, and was able to capitalize again in the 60s. And I kept going back and forth with Neo. My goal is to build as many shares as I can with Neo in the long term. Not encouraging everyone to do the same kind of trading. That's just my strategy. It has been working for me personally. Um, I try to keep it simple, and I try to share exactly what I've been doing with everyone. And I try to share it as timely as possible. Now, unfortunately, for those who are not subscribed, you won't be able to see when I post my videos. But again, I only post videos mostly if I'm selling a stock, or if I'm buying a stock, or if I'm planning to buy. I'll let you know as a, hey, I'm planning to buy this stock, right? But it's totally up to you guys to make the investment in the time and to do your research to make sure you're investing in something that will be giving you a great return on your investment. Obviously, that's the main purpose of an investment. Now, if we go back here in terms of Neo, it was a no-brainer for me personally, because what happened is with Neo, I was able to get it, as I said, at an earlier stage than most people, because not many people knew about NEO until 2020, this huge spike in EV, and then everyone starts to invest in most of the EV companies to get a huge return. But what I liked about NEO is, like, in the early stage, when I first started to research the company, I was comparing it with Tesla at the time, which everyone is still doing now. But at that time, I was looking at seeing why Tesla wanted so bad to get into China. And I started to do my research. And obviously, the obvious thing is that it's a huge population. And in terms of lowering carbon, like China, especially Beijing, was one of the main place that's struggling to overcome this, and that was a great opportunity for Tesla, right? And even in my research as well, I was in China back in 2018, and I was able to get a chance to see the concept cars of NEO as well. But the main thing, what I realized, I was thinking, I was in Beijing, and I noticed I was asking a lot of questions, and people were explaining to me that and there's different numbers of license plate that's allowed to drive per day to control the amount of cars on the road. So, in common sense approach, if EV vehicle becomes affordable, and if it's become a choice in the future, then more and more people will invest in EV cars, because that will allow more cars to be on the road in the end, and it's helping the environment as well. At the end of the day, it's making a difference, right? So that was the main reason why I invested in NEO. Now, at the same time, I was invested in Tesla as well, and Tesla takes up a chunk of my money. But the great thing is that when I got in Tesla at 189, it shoots up in a few months at like 980. So I was able to take some profit from Tesla and put everything back into NEO. And I was able to get NEO at 150, at 220, and I kept just buying and buying shares into what it is right now. I was able to sell in the 50s, buy back in the 40s, able to sell again in the 60s, make a few trades here and there. But each time I make my trades, guys, I let you know that, hey, I'm doing this. If you look in the last 6 months, if we go back to October, here's when it was the sweet spot, because we saw it went up. If we go back in the year, we saw when it went up first. In the first spot, it went up to like $17 per share, and then we saw that it pulled back below $11 per share, right? So this was an opportunity now for me to profit at 17. I was able to get back in at 10, and I was able to make a huge sale again when it breaks at $24 per share. Then I was able to get back in the low 20, and just kept doing the same thing back and forth. Now, it is, again, a great opportunity for anyone that's watching this video for the very first time. Again, please do your research. I want to make sure if you're invested in this company, you're well prepared. You know what's going on. Now, keep in mind, guys, one of the big reasons why this stock is performing so poorly. Now, if we take a look at the last report that came out a few days back, we saw that they actually are producing at a high volume. I think they broke that 100,000 vehicle right now. So basically, NEO right now have made 100,000 vehicles per month. So not per month, in total, I should say. So I think from what the CEO is saying is that they have the capacity to make up to 10,000 per month, but you're trying to make anywhere from 605 to 705 vehicles per month to give them a buffer in the market. But keep in mind, guys, China is a huge market. I still believe that NEO have a long way to go. The company is still in its new stage. If we compare when Tesla is in the same stage, the company is actually doing okay financially, and in terms of the production, the services, what they have, the assets that they have in-house as well. And they are making other deals as we're speaking to better this company. Now, keep in mind, the one of the reason right now in terms of the market is not looking as great as it should is that there's still a shortage of semiconductor. And of course, in terms of NEO, they're still dealing with the shortage of the battery cells as well. So that's why you can see the stock in the last few weeks or months, we can see the numbers are not looking great. Price target that we're expecting is not sitting at where we expect it to be, right? But don't be discouraged. I highly tell everyone keep an open mind with Neo. It has a long way to go, but if you have it in your portfolio, like me personally, guys, I'm just keep adding more shares as much as I can. Now, again, I have a lot of shares, but I do buy options as well if I'm not too keen on what's going on. But for you guys, that's just going in is to buy and hold your shares. For me personally, in terms of option, can give you flexibility. Like you put in less money up front, obviously, but if you just if you're just getting started, if you're a conservative person, then both options is okay. You can buy the shares itself. The price right now at 37, it's cheap. It's not at 50 or 60. However, if you compare it to a year back, you're looking at $5, then that's a big difference. So it's hard for me to tell you because when I purchased mine, it was so low, right? So even now, if I do purchase more shares in, what I do is I trade options, and when I make that profit, I use the profit to buy shares to hold in the company. So if that makes sense for you, if you're doing the exact same thing, then that's a great idea. If you don't want to get into options, then just buy shares, hold it. It's still totally fine. It's really up to you guys. Now, if we look at the breakdown for NEO, as I said, we can look back here. If we look at the actual number for the market trend, we can see high for the week was at $4.65. High for the last 6 months since January, or I could say in the last year, where I went over $66 per share. In the last 3 months, we saw that number came up in February when it had that spike, when we had that NEO day. But in terms of lows, we can see um, it touches below that $32. I believe that was back on March 5th. I told everyone at that time that you could have gone and bought up some shares and you could have sold back anywhere over 40 and you could have buy back again if you want. Again, guys, if you go in long term, you can trade NEO. If you go in short term, if it's just for swings, it's totally flexible. Again, you have to make that decision. No one could make it for you. Now, if you look at the charts for the day, we can see it was down at $37 per share. It opens up actually just around 38, 35, and it's been fluctuating between 37.01 and at one point at 38.10, and we saw a pullback now to 37.60. So the price is fluctuating for the day. It's really up to you guys. If you're thinking of getting this stock, it is still a safe buy for me personally. Again, this is not financial advice. I cannot tell you to buy on this stock on this channel. I can only share my opinion. And I think personally that it is still a great investment. I'm holding a ton of shares, not planning to sell right now. Right. So I do have a lot of stocks and I need to take some out of my portfolio. I will be doing some monitoring, but for the day, again, we have to decide like exactly what you want to do. Now, for anyone that's looking at GameStop, if you're thinking of buying GameStop right now, might as well buy some NEO shares for the day, right? Because we can see on the GameStop is going down today. I was down 8%, I believe around 10% for the day. It was down yesterday, I believe 6% as well. Again, guys, if you were trading GameStop the last few weeks, you could have made a lot of money when it went back up to 330 and then came back in 175 and then breaks that 200 again. And then we saw it sat in 118, 120. And we saw there was a spike to 200 again and came back. So if you're doing those kind of trade, then definitely you can do those trades in the short term, in the day-by-day trade. If you make some profit, you can use that money to put on like NEO or in worst case, like Aapl. You know what I mean? In terms of Aapl, it may not give you a huge swing, but at least it's more secure. It's like a bank account. And I mentioned this a few weeks back. I said Aapl is like my bank account. I can just buy stock and don't even worry about it. Now I told you guys in the 118 to 120 was perfect to get those shares. If you're doing it in the short term, you could have profited. But again, if you didn't, it's no big deal. You can definitely do it again. I just want to spread some love today on NEO, that if you're considering getting some shares in NEO, it is still a good option. Make sure you guys act fast. Um, Please do your research to make sure whatever you get in that you're comfortable getting those shares. But just keep in mind in terms of the semiconductor shortage and also with the fuel cell battery, they're having some issues with battery like shortage with NEO and the cells. That's actually holding them back to ramp up production. Now, I've been doing some research, have some more information coming out soon with some other stocks that I'm following. In terms of Romeo Power as well, that's one of them. Blink we saw came back up. That's perfect. Um, and also as well, make sure if you guys are following, if you're following Lordstown as well, keep an eye on them. They're down for the day, I believe, at 11.40 per share. If you're looking for an easy swing back to 12.50 in a few days, that's definitely one that you can make $1 per trade. Again, the price is lower than NEO and Tesla if you'd like to buy in bulk. If you're going long term as well, it's perfect to hold. You know what I mean? But let's focus on NEO for now. Let's give NEO a chance. Again, I'm not trying to let you guys buy if you don't want to, but at the end of the day, it's really up to you. I'm just letting you guys know that it's a great investment still. Hopefully, the market stays on where it's at. I've understand that we're investing a ton of money in the EV space, and that will definitely um, pull the EV market up. And of course, guys, once Tesla price rises, everyone comes up as well. So it's no big deal. Is that the reason why these guys are down? Is if Tesla is down, everyone is down. Once Tesla starts to rise, everyone starts to rise. So if you want to follow the market, just keep it simple and just watch Tesla. If Tesla price goes to 800, then NEO price more likely go back to 50. Right? That's just the way how the market is working in terms of EV when you're comparing momentum trading and versus actually news that's coming out. So again, I don't want to spend too much time on this. If you guys are watching this, I appreciate the love and support as usual. For all my subscribers, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you so much 100% for subscribing. If you're not yet subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let's help to grow this channel. Guys, leave a comment, leave a like. Let me know if you have any stocks that you're thinking of adding. If it's something that I felt is good for my portfolio, definitely I will do my own research and make that decision. But until next time, trade smart and peace out.